Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 109 of my Simulator Let's Play. So continuing with the applied energistics theme, today's episode I'm gonna handle two problems, hopefully solve them, which I'm having. One of them is because of applied energistics and the other one is not because of applied energistics, but hopefully it will be the solution. So the first problem, also by the way, you see that ladder, you see that cable going down. I already prepared the room. I didn't decorate it at all, just plain blocks and coal and gravel and everything. That will be hopefully where my crafting will be in the future, but it's not there yet. It's going to take some time. Still need a lot more crystals. So the first problem that I want to take care of today is this thing. I had a problem in the previous episode using that chest, the black chest, which supplies iron, redstone and gold, to this crafting area. I have a problem making applied energistics and red power interact correctly to make it work compared to what I had previously. Now this setup right now doesn't work. It may seem like it does, but it doesn't. This exported interface, this ME interface using exported items with the transposer doesn't work correctly. The transposer doesn't do what I would expect it to do, and that's a problem. And the other problem that I want to fix today is the netherrack distribution between my magma crucibles. You can already see there is a problem here. Overall, the problem is mainly the fact that 3 engines mine too slow, 4 engines mine too fast. I want to avoid bounce backs, and I don't want to waste any netherrack. I want every netherrack that I mine, I want to use. So those are the 4 basic principles of this system that currently doesn't work, with the tubing connected like so, and the relay right here with this conditional OR gate pipe checking if the inventory is full. If it does, sends a rest signal. If that signal goes out, right now it seems bugged. It's only visual that goes up to here, which then turns off the engines. That doesn't work properly. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so right before we start, you can quickly see I remove the filter here, because since color code doesn't make any difference anymore, I just placed the quartz crystal from Zycraft and the obsidian right into the sorting machine, so they are filtered out all at the same time to the same network. Alright, so let's begin with fixing that problem right here. So currently the way I make it work, I'm using the ender chest network to move things around using the black chest to make sure that those 2 rolling machines, this one creating standard rails, has enough iron, and this one creating golden rails has enough standard rails, redstone and gold. Basically supplying this entire contraption with gold, redstone and iron. However, if we for a second there forget applied energistics, I already have a problem here where rolling machines do not interact properly with ender chests. And this is why I made this small filter into a chest right here, so it can interact with those 2 rolling machines. However, after some time I realized that it was also a problem. So my plan is to fix this problem is to completely overwrite this entire ender chest network and use applied energistics only. And this is what I'm going to do. Now, if I have a rolling machine, to give you guys an example on what you can and cannot do with a rolling machine, that will be great. However, I think I do not. So I'm simply gonna have to apply my hopeful solution directly on the rolling machines themselves. So let me build everything that I need. Let me quickly see what I need. I'm gonna need 2 export buses and an ME interface. Alright, so let me get everything that I need and we can get started. Okay, so I already had 2 export buses ready. Just made a quick interface and brought a lot of cable because I'm gonna need it. So what I'm going to do is completely replace the ender chest network and connect it directly to my ME network. Now the only drawback of applied energistics right now is that they do not have any way to wirelessly connect networks. So if you want to connect 2 separate hubs, for example my current storage area and this crafting area, you have to directly connect it using cable. There is no shortcuts, no wireless, no nothing. There is something wireless about applied energistics, but that has a different use, as far as I know at least. It's something to do with having placing that thing and letting you wirelessly connect to your network so you can pull things out, just as you would, for example, use an Ender pouch. Pretty much the same idea. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to need to remove this Ender chest and replace it with an ME interface, which is going to supply it with redstone. So break that, and ME interface, and let's steal some redstone from here. Right now, obviously, it's still not connecting to anything, so it's not going to work, but it's gonna, in the future, be connected. So this will now mod to have always have exported items available. Now, fabricators do interact with ME interfaces, as far as I've checked, but rolling machines do not. So this is why I brought some export buses. And this is where things are gonna get a little bit complicated. So let's start to have a look. So first, I'm gonna take this off. No more timer, no more alloy wire, no more filter. And actually, I'd like to have a look how was the chest looking like. Yeah, I had the feeling that it would happen. It didn't keep the ratios correct. It just kept it filled up with iron and gold. More likely iron and gold and redstone barely represented here. And that's the problem that I had a feeling is going to happen. So this is no longer the case. At least it's not going to be. I'm going to need to take off that chest, and that's going to spill a lot of items. Let me take care of that off screen quickly. Okay, so the chest is cleared out. I also brought some new redstone energy conduits because I'm probably going to need to reroute some things. Because since everything is so compactly placed together, there is only... Actually, you know what? Could be fine. That needs to be replaced. We'll need an access point to the side of both things. I don't know if the bottom will work. It's going to require some testing. I'm going to need gold in each. Redstone here, iron here, gold here, redstone here. Okay, so let's try something like this. This coal block can go away. Night is coming down. It shouldn't be a problem. This is something that I have not tested, and hopefully it will work, but I don't know, so you won't know until we try. I'm going to need to move the timer away from here. So let's place... Okay, let's get over the night. I don't want a creeper now. Okay, so let's move that timer that I had right here to be over here. So I have some access area available. So it should look like this. Let's connect two export buses. One of them will be on the bottom. I do not know if it will work, but until I won't try, I wouldn't know. Just like this. This needs to have redstone and gold, so always supply it with redstone and gold. One at a time, no stacks, and always active. And this will supply iron. Now, rolling machines have a problem that they do not interact correctly with any other inventory except for chests, normal chests, as far as I've tested. However, they have kind of a smart inventory to them that if you try to place items inside them, say from pipes, tubes, or applied energistics, the items can only be placed in the designated areas. For example, gold will only be placed in the already gold slotted places, or iron will only be placed here, and that 3 inventory spaces will be left alone. And this is actually the entire principle here. So I'm going to connect this two, and I'm going to connect the import bus, the export bus, or interface to be more correct, just from the bottom, so it's nicely connected and hidden. And the only thing remaining to do is just connect it to the rest of my network. I'm probably going to do this underground. Let's see. Yeah, I have a nice... should have a nice connection point right here. This is just plain cobblestone. There we go. So you can simply pull it from here. The only worry that I have right now is interacting from the bottom of the rolling machine in one of the buses. I do not know if it will work, but we'll see if it does. So let me go ahead and connect it underground. Alright, so I built a tunnel right here for my new room. I'm gonna cover everything later, but I built just a small tunnel going directly from here over to my new place. And let's just connect everything together. It goes underneath my farm as well. Right here there is a water block, which is blocked not to spill into here. And right here, and this is the new tunnel. Now let's have a quick look, see if it works. Let's connect it last. Let's have just a quick connection area so I can quickly react and move and check if it works. So this block. So let's see. Right now this has 2 of everything, and this has a lot of standard rails, redstone and gold. Let's see if it wants what happens when it's connected. So this should start working. You can see it start filling up iron, so that's fine. You can probably go for a stack at a time. Yeah, no, it's fine. You'll also be able to see that whenever everything is full, it won't try to pull anything. It doesn't try to fill up this inventory slots. Now, how does this work? Yeah, this also seems to be working fine. Let's again change to stack mode. And we can take a look, and you can see it works perfectly. And together with all of that, this has redstone. And the nice thing about Fabricator is if, for example, I take this out, you'll know, you can see it interacted with the redstone here. I didn't have any redstone available anywhere else. For now, I'm going to actually move this over. Oh, actually, oh, never mind. Okay, so let's export the redstone. I don't need another stack in here. And let's have a spare booster tracks here. And there we go. This problem taken care of. I can completely remove this from here as well. This is no longer necessary. Move everything. No weird stuff hanging out. This was the last ender chest. It's also dropped the materials. Yeah, let me clean up quickly and we can continue. Now, the only supposed drawback of that entire thing is that now because I have so much cables connected, I'm now essentially just keep drawing more and more power over time. So this is something that you have to keep in mind. The larger your network is, the more energy you're going to consume. So when doing something like this over a larger distance will be quite painful. I really would like to have some sort of a wireless connection implemented. That would be awesome. Maybe at the right cost, but instead of just pulling wires all over the place, I think it will be nicer. I guess so. You will agree. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up completely filling up all those gaps and holes, and we can indeed continue with my other problem. Okay, so I'm back here. And this is my next step this episode. So I'm actually here at an excellent time, because you can see what's the problem, or you can see at least some of the problems. So my ender tank is full. Obviously lava has nowhere to go, all the engines are full, everything is full. However, the problem here is the way liquid ducts work, and it's not their fault, it's not a bad thing, it's simply the way they work. They don't kind of pull from everything evenly. And the result is that some magma crucible, specifically directly here because it's directly below it, I guess, is being emptied all the time, and then only the netherrack here is being processed, and eventually only the netherrack here empties out. And whenever that happens, it happens in another place, another place, another place, until the point where all of them are empty, or close to that point. Well, this is still full, and this is barely operating because it's not extracting lava, because it's extracting lava from someplace else, and because the relay here isn't pushing anything, it has nowhere to push the item into. It doesn't stop. It doesn't start the quarry. It still stops. But the problem is that I'm getting those kind of large time gaps where I have nothing. So it's kind of like a roller coaster going up and down in terms of when do I have lava and when do I don't have lava. And I don't like that. I want it to have a stable state where I always have lava, or it's at least an expected rate. Something that I can expect. So my plan here is obviously replace all the red power with Pride Logistics. However, I'm basically going to create a whole new network. It's going to be separated from my main network. Obviously, it's in a different dimension. I have no other choice. But it's going to be a very, very simple network. Now, I'm kind of gambling here on something to work. I'm really hoping that the iron ore gates know how to interact with the ME interfaces. I'm kind of bidding on that. If that's not the case, I may have a problem. But it will definitely be better than this state right now, which is, to be honest, kind of unbearable. But you know what? I'm going to have that test before breaking anything. So let's quickly I already have an ME interface. Let's see if I have an OR gate available. So I already have an ME interface somewhere on me. Nice. And let's take that ME interface. Let's take some cobblestone, just random cobblestone, and get a gate which I have should have lying around. There you go. I have a lot of those here. Some golden ore gate, some structure pipe, and that's pretty much what I need. So let's have the test like this. Let's have the ME interface like this. The pipe right here. Obviously it already connects, so that's a good thing. And the gate right here. So let's set up some conditionals. So send a redstone signal. Let's get some redstone dust to be more visually obvious. So redstone all over the place. Right now the inventory is empty. So if this is empty, send a redstone signal. Nice. If this side has items, do not send a redstone signal. If it's full, if there is space, send redstone signal, and if it's full, do not send the redstone signal. And now let's test it in actual real environment. So right now it checks if there are items in the inventory. If I place something in here, bam, redstone signal. If it's gone, no redstone signal. And this is exactly what I need. So let's get everything that I need. I'm gonna need, let's have a quick count. I'm gonna need a specific amount of export buses. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 32 export buses, an ME interface, a chest, some data disk, and yeah, let me get everything that I need, hopefully, without forgetting too much. Okay, so I got pretty much all the applied energistics related things that I need. So cables, export cables, normal cables, a data disk, a chest, a controller, and an ME interface. And I'm going to, in terms of power, it really asks itself to use the Buildcraft energy. I think it really demands that you use the Buildcraft energy to use it. But quite surprisingly, I really don't want to do that. There is a very fine balance between the amount of energy being used to power the quarry and what it's being actually generated. So what I'm going to do instead is simply steal one lower voltage solar panel from here, and I'm going to take, I think, the oldest block in my house except for the walls themselves, the bat box that I have right here. I have all those excess crafting materials that I don't need to carry on me, and this should be enough. So let's finally take away this generator and bat box. Don't belong here anymore. They've just actually been sitting here doing exactly nothing, so it's kind of amusing. And I think I have those I can take care of later. This should be everything that I need to have. So let's go over to that edge, start building it, and whenever I miss something, just replace it or find it. Okay, I'd like to get the edge in a stable state, not in that state where everything is kind of buggy, so let me find that state. Okay, so let's get to building. So the first thing is turning it off. Okay, now I have this buggy stuff. This shouldn't actually mean anything, it should still continue mining, even though it visually doesn't seem like it. No, it actually doesn't mine. Oh, it doesn't matter because it doesn't have any energy. Okay. So, first, let's do it like this. So instead of a relay, I'm going to have the export interface right here. The ME interface, or not export interface. That interface is going to be connected first to the ME controller, which is going to be making sure that there is energy and everything is fine in that network. I think you actually need to have an ME controller on every type of applied energistic network. I don't know if you have to have one, but I think you do. So let's have it like this. So this bat box is going to store the EU and also power the network. It's going to fill up its inner buffer and then store all the excess EU in that bat box. And that is going to be connected to an ME chest right here. That ME chest is going to have the storage, the 1K storage. And looking at this, I may actually want to change some things. Yeah, let's actually move this away. Let's have it right here. No, this is bad. Right here. Okay, it should be better. Okay, I'm generating more power than I'm using, I think, so I may go to start using, instead of a lower voltage, I may use a medium voltage. We'll see. I may, when I connect my cables, it may start to have some issues, but we'll see. Okay, so that export bus is going to be connected to that soon to be this thing. Let's replace broken materials. Okay. This actually should now be working and should start filling up netherrack, so that's fine. So whenever that ME export bus has items, pretty much the same conditional that I've checked in my main world. So if there is items in inventory, set a redstone signal. And you can see right now it doesn't actually send a redstone signal, and that's for a very particular reason. Any item traveling through the ME interface are directly placed in the ME chest. When will it send a redstone signal? When the ME chest is full. So this logically pretty much makes the same sense as my previous solution. However, this time around, it's a lot more reliable. Okay, so this will send signal to 1 if it says a signal, and then the engines will stop. This pretty much serves the same purpose, except the buffer. The buffer size is a lot larger, obviously, because I can store 1K bytes of information. In terms of netherrack, I'm not sure about the amount, but that's more than 1024 netherrack. That's a little bit more. So we'll see when we get there. And the last thing to take care of is replace all the tubes with export buses. So let me quickly do that. Okay, so all the tubes removed. Now simply connect everything to the export bus. So placing an export bus all on the same blue slot of those magma crucibles, and just connect it via some just normal cable from the side. Let's do it from this side, so if I ever want to expand, it's a lot easier. So let's have it go from underneath. I already had the groundwork for an underneath tunnel. So coming from here all the way over here and placing them again like this. Now, unlike the redstone tubes, the red power tubes, which have a very obvious priority because items will always look for the closest available inventory. As far as I know, Applied Logistics item network do not have that kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna need a better type of energy generation. Yes, it's gonna consume a lot. Okay, so in terms of exporting, I'm going to define all of those export buses to export netherrack. And always active, one at a time, doesn't matter, just export netherrack. Yes, I'm obviously gonna have, yeah, it's gonna die off. It's not reliable. And obviously this is why I didn't want to use the actual power from here, because it would like suck out all the energy from the core itself to power this system on, which then makes no sense. If this thing is powered but the core is not, it's kind of pointless. Alright, so let me fill all those buses. Okay, so everything is connected. However, now because of my power issues, I'm gonna simply replace my lower voltage solar array with a medium voltage one. And since it's permanent daylight in that age, even though it seems like it doesn't because of the ender stars, it's permanent day, it's always daylight there. There is no issues. And I also actually do not have to get any sort of MFSU or MFE, because the control itself is sort of kind of an internal battery. So you can just hijack one of those solar panels away from here and simply place it right on top of the controller, the ME controller, and it will work without any problems, hopefully. Nothing exploding, nothing going crazy. Let's quickly take away those things, they're unnecessary, and simply place it here. And you can see it's gonna get power no problem, and obviously there is no buffer energy, but I don't need any buffer energy anyway, it's not going to go anywhere. So there you have it. It's going to keep storing netherrack. It's also, you can see it's now using all that netherrack to balance out all the empty crucibles. Like here, for example. And that's actually a good example. You saw how many of those crucibles are empty, because look at the amount of netherrack it's being wasted right now. So that's starting to balance itself out. Yeah, there are quite a lot. And they're all not on stacking mode, but on normal mode. I just didn't want to click an extra button when setting up 32 different things. And it doesn't make that much of a difference in terms of lava generation or something. And again, like I said previously, there is no priority here. All of those export buses, as far as the network is concerned, and as far as I know, are on the same priority. There is no higher priority, lower priority. So they all try to push netherrack at the same time. Obviously, since I'm generating so much, there is no problem. There are no... they don't interrupt each other. But it's not like the first one will always be first and the second and the third. There is the same priority for all of them. And this is probably pretty much what caused my problem, because the netherrack has a priority, but the lava extraction does not, or at least none that I can make any sense of. So now it should be fine. Actually, I would like to make that chest balance itself out and see at what point, to give you guys, to show you the point of which it stops mining. I'm storing a lot of netherrack here for no particular reason. Let's just dump it all back there. So it will also be my storage for netherrack. So let me quickly do that off screen. You know what? I just started picking up everything manually, and I want to bash myself in the head, because when you use applied logistics, there are a nicer way to do things. So let's introduce a new block that I haven't used yet, called the I/O interface. I actually have no clue where that block is. Let me quickly find that. Crafting CPU, storage CPU, there we go. The ME I/O port. Basically stands for, ME stands for matter energy, I think. I/O stands for input output, and port is a port. So let's quickly craft that. It's going to require 2 ME drives, some iron, some basic processor, and some glass. Basic processor, some iron. What else? I'm bad at crafting things, if you haven't figured that out yet. Some glass, and it also require those ME drives, which I'm going to craft more of. So more basic processor, chest, and yeah. Okay, so this, I'm probably gonna miss something, but yeah, we'll just see when we get there. So 2 ME drives, and gives me the I/O port. There we go. Now for the I/O port, I'm actually gonna craft 1 more data disk. You actually need that, and I can use it later in my existing system. So let's craft 1 more of those. I'm going to need redstone, which I don't have. So 1 of those storage cells, only 1. I'm still trying to save up quartz crystals. My red power core still haven't reached the point where it's mining it, so it's taking its time. Alright, so I/O port can be connected anywhere to the network, as always. Simply connect it. And let's do like this. I want to do the transfer direction from the network to the disk. Operation mode, move to output net empty. No, that's not relevant. Okay, it got filled up. Oh, I need to pre-format it first. Okay, so let's do the other operation. Okay, so I'm gonna build. Okay, so I/O port is the first block. I'm gonna need another block which I did not take account of. So the pre-formatter, which is this thing. So crafting table, conversion matrix, iron, and some glass. I should have some crafting tables over here. I guess not. Let's just steal some wood from here. Where was it? Well, I'm looking for the pre-formatter. There we go. So the ME pre-formatter, it doesn't have to be a part of the network as far as I'm concerned. I think it won't even connect. Yeah, it doesn't even connect, so it doesn't make any sense. What it does, basically, you place a data disk here. I'm going to need some netherrack. You say what filters that disk is going to have. So let's say it's going to only accept netherrack. And then you can give it a name. So let's give it just netherrack, obviously. And now format, and now that data disk will only accept netherrack. Okay, so this is the first step. The second step, it also tells you that it's pre-formatted. It doesn't tell you what exactly it does, but because I named it netherrack, I know it's pre-formatted to only accept netherrack. Now this is the first block. The second block, the I/O port, can transfer from the network to a data disk or the other way around. You can see, you just call it there. You can actually also automate that process using tubes and pipes with everything that happens here. That's not really relevant right now. But what I'm looking forward to do is actually extract all the netherrack that I have currently in my storage. You can see it's all gone. There's no netherrack here anymore. And right into here. So this data storage now has all the netherrack. I'm gonna take, actually I'm not gonna take that with me. Let's do the following thing. I'm going to, no actually I did need, I'm going to need the IO port with me. So let me grab that. So taking that IO port, what I'm going to do is replace my current data disk, which is in the chest right here, with the pre-formatted data disk, like this, because this one is designed to only store netherrack, this one still isn't, so let's keep it that way. You can also see the color here change because it's kind of half full, so it lets you know. Connect the IO port here and empty out this data disk, so now it's completely clear, and all the netherrack that I ever have is only stored in that place right here. So you can see that 5000 netherrack is still just above half of 1K storage data disk. So waiting for this to get full will take some time. Something I hope to do right now, but probably going to happen off screen. So I'm going to take a look at this probably in the next episode. You guys can see the way the netherrack is being balanced in the system, the way it fluctuates. So right now it goes up. The moment something finishes processing in netherrack, it suddenly starts pulling out. At some point when like 10 of them at the same time need a new netherrack, it seems like right now it seems like the number goes down, but overall it slowly climbs up. Now if I turn one of those magmatic engines off, you'll be able to see that the number will slowly go down. Right now it still seems to be climbing up, but overall I think actually, maybe I'm wrong, I think the consumption rate at some point will overcome the production rate, and that will have an issue. Maybe I was wrong. It doesn't matter at all, basically, but you know what, let's just keep it on anyway and see how that works out for us. Alright, so solved two main issues, two main problems that I was having with using my new acquired, there we go. I accidentally said logistics pipes because it reminds me of it so much, and I really like logistics pipes, but no, it's applied logistics, it's its own thing, and it's very, very nice. Solving all problems, new solutions, really liking it. Awesome. So as always, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.